What is going on, everybody? Cephalon here, bringing some Dark Souls 3 content. In our last episode, we went ahead and finished killing the Vort of the Boreal Valley, and after you killed him, you place this banner down, and these little gargoyle type of dudes are going to come whisk us away to the next area, which is called the Undead Settlement. And from there, we're going to go ahead and get to the next bonfire from that area, the first major bonfire, so that way we can get all the good stuff. This beginning thing just has a bunch of mobs that we need to get by, a couple things to pick up, but nothing too crazy. If you can't tell, we don't have any sound on this particular video. I don't know exactly why it didn't record, so we're just going to play some music in the background and just enjoy kind of walking around, and you'll be able to see where you'll need to go to. We'll cut out some things that repetitive stuff just in case I die. You never know. This is one of those games that you can pretty much fall off a cliff when you're not paying attention, like wow, and why I'm even walking to that edge right now. Anyway, there's nothing up here except for one soul item, and it's up on the little rocks over here that we're walking to as of right now. Just go ahead and pick that up and you should be good. Now after you're done, you want to make your way to the staircase to the right and get down to the bottom level so we can start moving ahead. Now if you want, you can go ahead and peek off the edge and kind of see what you have waiting down below. And if you look down below, you'll see some dogs waiting behind these little barrels, a little wagon that's tipped over, and they're guarding the soul. You want to make sure that you are aware that they are there. That's, I guess, in a sense, it's a trap. If you wouldn't have looked over the edge like we just did, you wouldn't have seen them as you're approaching them. Just always be aware of your surroundings, guys. They always like to put mobs in corners and behind doors just to kind of surprise you a little bit. But we're just going to kind of crawl over here and see. Now you'll see these dogs all coming out here, and for some reason they're attacking the people here. I don't think it really matters. Those people are pretty weak, but I guess it's people you don't have to worry about. Alright, so head down these stairs here and make sure you kill these dogs one by one if you can. If you get a pack of them, they can start getting you on angles, and you can definitely die pretty quick to them. They are pretty weak to fire too. It's something you might want to take a note if you have a torch or something, or even pyromancy. They basically freak out when they get fire on them, making them really easy after that first shot of whatever it is. Or you can even infuse your weapon if you're one of the guys that pick the fire gem as your first reward, I guess, or gift as you start the game. You can infuse one of your weapons with fire, and it's actually pretty good early. So just kind of be aware of that as well if you haven't got to this point yet. So like I said, remember we looked down, so we got those dogs behind this wagon, so just go ahead and creep up on them, and should be able to take them out pretty easily. Alright, we got a little luring skull, I should say. And luring skulls, basically what they do is if you use them, they attract kind of mobs, so it's kind of a way to get more, more enemies to come there. They kind of will all cluster to where that's at. Or maybe like if you're trying to get some of them away from a certain area, you might want to use that. Now we got an NPC over here to the right. After we pick up this this item right here, that's a homeworn bone, we're going to go ahead and go over to the right side, and you'll see I will start talking to you once we get closer over there. Yep, there he is. So just talk to him, and then he will basically join our cause and then go back to the Firelink shrine, and he'll sell you spells and stuff. So it's pretty cool. There's also a little storyline with him. If you want to get the super duper awesome ending, you want to go ahead and follow that storyline, and we'll probably go over that a little bit later on as well. But what it kind of entails, just a little short overview of it, is you're going to go talk to him, and he's going to give you free levels in the return of hollowing out, basically making your guy look just more decrepit than he already does. And you'll be able to do that 5 times. Once you do that, you'll be talking to a different NPC that'll appear after this guy, basically croaks. But that's like I said, we'll deal with that a little bit later when it comes. Let's just kind of get through this area. I want to just hurry up and get to this bonfire here. Alright, so just head through the gate here, and you'll see there's the bonfire between those doors right ahead of us. Feel free to close the gate, you don't want to be rude and leave the doors open. Actually, I don't even know why I did that. Sometimes you just like pushing buttons. Alright, now go ahead and kill these two guys. Now, if you don't approach that door, like fast, the guy with the pitchfork is off to the right, so you gotta make sure there's two, know there's two, because the first guy comes out sometimes, but the second sometimes he'll stay in there. So you want to make sure that you are aware that there's 2 guys inside that room. Kind of like I was saying before, they're all weak to fire. A lot of these guys are all weak to fire, so if you have some bombs and you want to use them, go ahead. I wouldn't suggest using them. Again, I don't know why I did. Just sometimes I like to mix up the kills because you'll find out in a minute how valuable those fire bombs can be. Now there's some new creatures also in here that you're going to see. I don't know how to really explain them since I don't have a book. I don't really know what they're called either. And there's me wasting another one. So that small little shield we just picked up, you can use that for parrying. If you guys are really good at parrying, then that's the, I don't know, say that's the earliest you can pick one of those up, but most of the small shields have a parry built in. Now these guys, those ones that I smacked that guy in that little cage, and obviously it was just a normal dead one. It's not really crazy, but some of those guys will come alive, so it's something to be aware about. So one of those guys I was talking about is going to drop right behind us right now, and you'll see him. He's right there. Just keep your shield up, and you should be able to kill them. They're very squishy, but again, they hang up on the walls and they drop down, and they can definitely piss you off if you're not ready. So there we go. I got a bundle of fire that will help us later on. You can apply that stuff to your swords. They're very, very good for boss fights and things like that. So knock this guy down, and we'll go get him in a little bit. Don't fall off the edge just yet. You want to make your way to the bottom. So you'll see one guy there, and then there's one in the corner, and then there's one more that drops down. So there's 3 of those little mobs that we're facing right now in this room. So be careful, because that last one, he can definitely surprise you. And they'll chase you right out the room too, so you can't just run through it. They'll come after you. And there's a lot of mobs in this next part that you get out, so you don't want to get ambushed by a whole bunch of them. So you want to just take them one by one and take your time. Alright, so we got ourselves some more of the charcoal fire for the swords. I believe I haven't used one yet, but I believe once you use it, then it'll just like become like like 4 or 5 uses or something like that. I'm not really 100% positive on that, so I don't know. I guess I don't use them that much. I've been using the single ones. So here we go. As we're coming around this corner, you can go ahead and pick up that body that dropped when you cut it down. These guys won't do anything till you get a little close, so that bone will definitely come in handy. It's definitely an item you want to not miss. So if you see the barrels over there, this is a good time to throw those fire bombs, and it'll just blast the crap out of them. And you got a nice little drop there, a little worker hat. I don't think it will really help us out. Like I said, we're going for a strength build, so that's probably not the best item. So these guys are pretty easy, but you want to dispatch them because a bunch of them at a time obviously is bad, but there's a big old little fat witch lady over here you'll see, and that's pretty much the hardest person that we've fought so far, and they get annoying as hell. So she has this huge ass club. You'll see she's coming at us right now, and you just want to be very careful, especially if you don't have a lot of armor. If you're trying to rush through and you don't have any way to take care of him, you want to be careful with this person. So she's already following us right now, and you'll see what I'm talking about real quick here. So I was trying to get one-on-one on him, so I can probably just get around her and try to backstab her or something, but I was in for a rude awakening. She can pretty much club us with one shot. Yeah, so it took most of our stuff. Blood loss done. But that wasn't even the worst of it. She does have magic too when you're away, and then she also has this grab that she'll do that just jacks you up. So we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna try to just go through and pick up most of the items that are around here. If you see some cuts here and there, it's because I'm doing a lot of circling around and searching, and I'll try to do as least as possible, but they definitely want to pick up the stuff over here. There's an Ember on this side, and then on the other side where she was guarding, there's going to be an Estus flask, so you're going to want to pick that up. But we went ahead and go through a different way for now and decided to deal with her in a little bit. You kind of have to since it's still in the beginning, you're still trying to get used to most of the mechanics and what's going to be good for your character. and you know, with the amount of you know, healing and vitality and all the stuff that you have, you just gotta basically play the right way, if that's a good term, until you figure out what you actually want to be doing. If you're gonna be a guy that does a lot of rolling and stuff and backstabbing, or if you want to use your shield a lot, like I try to get used to. There's one of those guys that are alive I was talking about, but you know, I'm trying to get used to like using the shield and blocking, because it's got, like I said, since it's 100% physical, then you can take a block shot if you have enough stamina. Then you can roll around and get, you know, a critical shot or a backstab. But a lot of times I'm always trying to look for new weapons and stuff. I'm like a weapon and armor whore, dude. I just gotta have everything. So sometimes it's very hard to stick to one thing, and I'll put on a different weapon or a different shield, and I'll kind of get sidetracked with, you know, my strategy of how I'm gonna kill mobs. The best thing for these guys I've seen is also piercing attacks. You just kind of want to stay back and pierce. As you get closer, sometimes you bump into the cage, and it kind of sucks. So I don't know if every single one of them drops a fading soul, but it would be nice if they did. You can just respawn and redo them all, but I don't think they do always drop that. So there's another door. You gotta basically, it's locked, so just kind of keep that in the back of your head that there's obviously a way to get in there at some point. And this is one of the red eye guys. Anytime you see mobs that are red eyes, they're supposedly harder than the normal mobs. Now this guy was easy to go down, but I'm sure if he hit us with consecutive like slices or whatever, we'd probably go down pretty quick. And there's a little ambush too. You gotta watch out for those two little dudes just jump down. Like I said earlier, that's gonna happen throughout the game with those guys, where they're in a lot of different places. So we went ahead and just turned around and then went back to the Fire Link Shrine and got basically a body piece, because we were pretty weak. So we're gonna kill these guys, and we're gonna pick up that Estus over here that I told you about earlier. Alright, so after we picked up the soul right there, we went back to where we were at before we turned around. You can see the big old fatty is shooting magic at us right now. So we're going to try to finish off this person here. We'll probably just run through that magic lady to get to that bonfire. You can see her up on top right there. There's a ladder on the other side that you can climb and then get her better angle at fighting her. And she won't drop down most of the time, so this is a good way just to stay under the bridge to take out these two guys if they're giving you any kind of issues. Just snuck up behind him and backstab him. Oh, she decided to fall down. I guess I'm a liar. So did a little quick peek to see if she was coming at us, and then continue on our journey to the end real quick. Yeah, I wanted to get to basically past this part real quick, just so that way we can get back to the other stock videos that we have. So there is a crystal lizard right around this corner. It's very important that you kill them fast before they leave. And there's that sharp gem. And you'll see right when you drop down, there is the bonfire for us. So thank you for sticking with us on this video, even though it didn't have much sound. But now that we got to this bonfire, we can actually start doing some real work and get us closer to getting some better weapons and armor as well. So stay tuned for the next episode and subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys soon.